Imagine this. You step off a plane in Tanzania, still buzzing from the altitude of your dreams and serious jet lag. The air smells like wet earth and promise. You're here for a marathon. But the race isn't the hard part. Not yet. You and your partner hop into a well-loved truck with a driver who seems like he knows every bump in the red dirt road. He points out Mount Kilimanjaro in the distance, like he's showing you where the gods vacation. Goats scatter like they missed their exit. People wave. The driver continues his sightseeing narrative. We were sort of zoning out when, out of nowhere, he says it. Calm as a cucumber marinating in mystery.
My old boss, the mountain guide? Oh yes, he's dead. Got himself killed for sleeping with someone else's wife. People take that kind of thing seriously here.
Your brain hiccups. Like, did we just get a casual murder confession served with our welcome tour? The driver keeps cruising, sun bouncing off the windshield, while your understanding of the world takes a wild little detour.
Welcome to the land of unexpected truth bombs and perspective resets, where livestock has the right of way and grace shows up like a flamingo at a funeral. Offbeat, oddly timed, but somehow just right.
Welcome to the Latitude Adjustment. It's time to stop drifting and start navigating by your own inner compass. The life you're looking for isn't out there. It's in motion right now. Get ready to step off the map with your hosts, Erica and Rusty Harrison.
Okay, we're calling this one The Trouble with Goats and Grace, or more formally, Manage Bad Days.
Now listen, there are bad days, and then there are Tanzania. We just landed, and the driver mentioned murder like it was the most normal thing in the world kind of days.
Like those kind of days.
Those are the days when you figure out if your aging hero cape fits or if it's still stuck in your carry-on next to your anxiety meds and a melted granola bar.
Ugh. This story came from our trip to Tanzania. I signed up for the Mount Kilimanjaro Marathon because that's what you do when you're recovering from a foot injury and feeling dangerously optimistic. It was the tail end of the rainy season, which was great. Everything was absurdly green. Trees bursting, hills glowing, and Mount Kilimanjaro rising in the distance like a sleeping colossus with altitude issues.
It was so psychedelic.
Oh, surreal. But the most memorable part, it wasn't the mountain.
It was that ride, that driver, that moment when the air got still and he just dropped a murder confession like it was a weather report.
Oh.
Chance of rain, scattered livestock, and oh yes, infidelity-based homicide.
Oh, that thing. We were staring out at herders, cattle, and the occasional stubborn expression from a cow that clearly had opinions about our route. And in that moment, what we thought was going to be a peaceful, postcard perfect intro to Tanzania turned into a spiritual slap from the universe. Welcome to Africa, folks. Buckle up or don't.
That, my friends, is what a bad day can feel like. It's not always explosive. Sometimes it's just one weird, sharp moment that trips your brain.
Absolutely.
A comment, a look, a sudden flash of grief, or a herder's side eye that hits you in the soul. And then your thoughts unravel like a cheap hammock during hurricane season.
But here's the thing. The story, the Goats and Grace part, isn't really about the murder. It's about mindset. Because every bad day is a crossroads disguised as chaos. You can either spin out or you can do what the livestock does. Stop, blink, chew something indigestible, and keep going.
We realized it right there in that rattling truck. The driver wasn't shaken. He'd seen all kinds of bad days.
It was totally his norm.
But he wasn't bitter.
Nope.
He was just weathered. His peace didn't come from ignoring life's bite. It came from knowing the world has teeth and beauty. And you respect both or you get eaten.
And it made us ask, what if managing bad days isn't about fixing them? What if it's about riding them like a rusty beach bicycle with one good pedal and a basket full of metaphors? Because that's what aging heroes do. We don't wait for calm seas. We learn to sail crooked.
Exactly. It's emotional navigation.
I like that terminology.
Yeah, you can't outrun the squalls, but you can pack snacks and wear sandals that don't mind getting wet. Maybe that means journaling. Maybe it means breathing instead of barking. Maybe it means realizing your only job today is not to make things worse by chasing chaos into traffic.
Let's get real. We've both made bad days so much worse, right? Loudly and with drama. But grace is like coconut water in a crisis. You know, hydrating, humbling, and slightly weird. If you're not used to it, you know, those little floating inclusions that are in there.
I love those inclusions.
Oh, strain that out. It's a whole muscle. And we flex it hardest when we least want to.
So today, we're talking about how to move through the muck. Not around it, not over it, right on through it. Flip-flops flapping, grace riding shotgun, and your dignity catching a ride when it can.
That's like your dignity with its thumb out. When the unexpected hits, don't panic. Pause. Observe. Ask yourself, is this a crisis or just a plot twist?
And 9 times out of 10, it's just a detour. Not the end of your trip, not the undoing of your story, just something asking you to slow down and maybe laugh a little.
You said it's not the end of the world. Coming up next, we're bringing you the Aging Heroes Challenge, your guide to surviving the unpredictable detours of life without losing your soul, your cool, or your snack stash. Because if Africa taught us anything, it's this. Grace doesn't always wear white robes and a halo. Sometimes it shows up barefoot, wrapped in red dust, and hitching a ride next to a man who just redefined unbothered.
All right, heroes, you've survived segment 1's twisty road through Tanzania. You heard the murder confession.
Shh, don't tell anybody, it's Vegas.
You watched Erica run a marathon in a land where the cows look like they're dressed for carnival and sunsets come with mood swing.
I'm not sure I want anybody to have seen me running that marathon.
So now, what do you do when your day pulls a fast one? When life slaps your smoothie out of your hand and every thought in your brain is screaming, this day is toast, and also maybe possessed.
Oh, we're talking about a full system hijack, the emotional equivalent of a customs officer rifling through your psychic luggage and tossing your sense of peace into a bin marked random liquids. It usually hits around 10:17 a.m. You're hungry. Someone says something sideways. Your inbox is a volcano in business casual, and boom, you're in a funk deeper than a Jimmy Buffett fan's margarita tab.
But here's the good news.
There's good news?
You don't have to stay there. You don't have to let one weird moment throw off your whole safari.
Exactly. That's the whole point of this segment, because while we can't control the unexpected drivers or the surprise emotional sucker punches, we can learn to steer ourselves back to sanity, preferably before we throw that flip-flop at someone we love.
So let's break it down.
Okay.
What does it actually look like to manage a bad day in real time without needing a private island, a life coach named Celeste, or a medicinal piña colada?
Hey, Rusty, let's go back to that Kilimanjaro trip for a minute.
Let's do that.
That bit where our driver casually dropped the murder nugget, that part, it wasn't just the info, I think, that was a little unnerving. It was the way he said it, like he was just pointing out a mango tree, you know.
Right? My brain went full tilt. Is this funny? Is it sad? Is this a red flag? Should we switch drivers? Do we need a safe word?
Right? But here's the moment of truth. I realized I didn't have to solve it all right then. I could just breathe. I could notice. I could stay in my body and let the weirdness just float by.
That, my friends, was a reset. And resets are the secret sauce of bad day survival. You don't escape those days. You interrupt them. You pivot. You coconut shuffle your way back to the center.
I'm definitely going to start coconut shuffling from here forward. So today, everybody, we're sharing our go-to reset ritual. It's like a tiny island you swim to when the tide of your day tries to sweep you out to sea, with your piece clinging to a pool noodle and your last nerve checking the weather.
It's simple.
Yes.
It's portable.
That's right. And here's how it works. When you feel the spiral coming, when you're emotionally frayed, snackless, and 3 emails away from lighting your laptop on fire, pause. Put your feet on the ground, breathe in for 4 counts, exhale for 6, and then repeat until your nervous system stops tap dancing on your adrenal glands.
Next, check your inner weather. Ask yourself, what's my forecast? Stormy? Foggy? 80% chance of irrational rage with a side of dramatic soundtrack?
Naming it gives you power. As long as your feelings stay vague and shadowy, they run the show. But once you name them, you become the island boss with a clipboard and a whistle.
I'm naming mine Clifford. Then comes the ninja move that changed my life. I ask myself, is this the whole truth or just my mood talking? Because bad days lie, y'all. They whisper that you're unlovable, that everything's ruined, that the cookies you just stress ate don't count if you were standing up and sad.
But when you challenge those thoughts, even gently, they don't hold up and can start to evaporate.
Finally, do a small, tangible reset. Something kind, something easy, something human. Go outside, drink water, put on a ridiculous song and dance like your dignity's already checked out.
Or my favorite, I pull up that one photo from Tanzania. You know, that one where I'm super sweaty, dusty, triumphant, and only slightly delirious? I look at that woman and think, she didn't just run a marathon in Africa, survive a random murder monologue, and still make it to dinner just to be undone by a passive-aggressive email.
Perspective, baby. That's the real reset.
You got it.
All right, here is an Aging Heroes challenge for the week. The reset ritual. For the next 7 days, whenever your brain starts unraveling,
We want you to pause, breathe, ground yourself.
check the forecast. Name your mood like you're the island weatherman.
Challenge the lie. Ask, is this true or just dramatic?
Reset. One tiny act of kindness to your system. Drink water, move a little, sit still, laugh, swing in the hammock, have a little snack, a little dance,
Definitely.
a little breath.
Write that down. Stick it on your fridge, tattoo it on your memory, or whisper it into your rum punch if you want. Whatever works.
Bonus round, tell someone you trust about your reset ritual. That way, when you're spiraling, they can send you a tropical emoji and gently remind you to get your groove back. That, my friend, is true friendship.
What we're really doing here, we're training ourselves not to believe everything we think when we're spiraling. That's emotional freedom.
Because the goal isn't to have perfect days.
It's not.
The goal is to have the tools to stay centered when the day goes full circus.
So, when the tension's winning, the vibes are tanking, and your life feels like a poorly written telenovela,
You pause, you breathe, you reclaim your inner safari.
I love that.
All right, here's a recap of what we've covered so far. What to do when the chaos wins.
In segment 2, we went full jungle island wisdom. You learned the reset ritual, a 4-step tool for shifting out of the storm and back into your soul.
From naming your internal weather to challenging your spiraling brain lies, we showed you that grace isn't passive, it's a practice. And sometimes it wears flip-flops and refuses to explain itself.
Your challenge? Practice the ritual for 7 days. Recenter, reset, reclaim your mojo.
And coming up in segment 3, we're talking about the sneaky little voice that shows up on bad days and tries to convince you to make terrible life choices.
It's called mood-based decision making, and it's the devil in a crop top with a questionable accent.
Don't fall for it, heroes. We've got stories, science, and just enough insolence to call it out.
And if you fall for it, just pick yourself up. All right, heroes. If segment 2 was about reclaiming your inner safari,
Then this segment is about not burning the tent down while you're in it. Or, more accurately, not booking a one-way trip to Chaos Island just because you got sand in your metaphorical shoe.
we call this one Don't Text Your Ex, How to Outsmart Mood-Based Decisions. Because, let's be honest, some of our worst ideas show up dressed like saviors, whispering, "Trust me," while wearing a sun hat and holding your phone.
Oh yeah, mood-based decisions are like trying to sail in a hurricane with a cocktail umbrella.
I'm pretty sure I've seen you do that a time or two.
You feel dramatic and powerful for about 3 minutes. Then you're wet, confused, and emotionally shipwrecked somewhere between regret reef and bad idea bay.
Yeah, that's a familiar story I can sense brewing. We'll save that for another episode. When we're hijacked, emotionally speaking, we start grasping for the nearest lever of control. We want relief, not clarity. So we do things like rage texting, rage quitting, rage shopping, or giving ourselves transformative bangs at 11 p.m. with eyebrow scissors.
Raise your hand if you've ever composed a resignation letter in your head, rehearsed it in the mirror, and then almost sent it to the wrong department.
Don't you tell anybody I'm sitting here with my hand in the air.
It's okay. This island is a judgment-free zone unless you buy a ferret online because you're lonely. Then we might gently intervene.
Let's go back to Kilimanjaro for a hot second. When our driver casually dropped the, "Oh, by the way, there was a murder" line, I felt this internal zap. It wasn't panic, it wasn't fear, just kind of that primal do something energy. It felt a little like, should we cancel the race? Should we find a new hotel? Should we Google how to fake a family emergency in Swahili?
Yeah, same. My brain went to DEFCON 4. Do we know this wife? Are we now part of the plot twist? Is this going to be a Netflix documentary narrated by an overly dramatic narrator with a flair for suspense?
We weren't in danger. We were just unsettled. And unsettled is not a good headspace for decision making. It's a good headspace for writing emo poetry, but not for life choices.
Exactly. When your nervous system is lit up like a tiki torch at a beach wedding gone wrong, your logic brain takes a vacation and leaves your mood in charge.
Leaves it bye-bye.
And your mood, let's just say, has been drinking.
How about a little island wisdom? Pause the decision. Don't trust the mood.
All right, step 1. Learn to spot your mood hijack. It looks like this.
You're overly reactive,
You're fantasizing about escape, revenge, or moving to a yurt.
narrating your life like you're starring in a soap opera.
You're thinking, screw it, more than twice before noon. Step 2, make it your personal island law. No big decisions during mood storms. No breakups, no confrontations, no major purchases, no telling your boss how you really feel via a meme.
Real talk, here we go. I once thought of quitting everything and picking up a side hustle on eBay because of a weird comment and low blood sugar. I had 3 tabs open: Amazon, Smartass Comebacks, and Ben & Jerry's. It seemed like a crafty escape plan.
By dinner, she was over it.
That's right. All it took was a snack, a jog, and a nap. Suddenly, what seemed like an existential crisis lost its plot. I still like eBay, but I'm more than happy for someone else to be the seller, at least for now.
That's the thing. Moods are like tropical storms. They roll in, they make noise, and then they drift out. But if you rearrange your whole life during the storm, you wake up with soggy plans, weird bangs, and 3 new monthly subscriptions.
Oh, shoot. That's how that keeps happening to us? Here's the hack: delay and document. 1, write it down. 2, step away. And 3, revisit it in 24 hours with a clearer brain.
Half the time, you'll look at it and go, what in the hell was I thinking?
That is so true.
Have I mixed sadness with strong coffee again?
Yes, I did.
The other half of the time, you'll still care, but now you can respond instead of react.
Also, tell your people your pattern. Let them be your lighthouse. Someone who will gently say, maybe don't buy that alpaca farm just yet. Maybe just have a juice first.
That's love. That's island love. Supportive, salty, and soul stabilizing.
You got it.
Meanwhile, back in Tanzania, that driver's confession could have derailed our whole trip.
Sure.
We could have left. We
Yeah.
could have canceled the marathon.
Totally.
Packed it all up. But we paused, we let it settle, and that trip became one of the coolest experiences of our lives.
That's the lesson. Feelings are visitors, not landlords. They don't get to run your life just because they're loud and wearing a metaphorical crown.
Say it louder for the folks currently doom scrolling and contemplating sending that risky text.
Feelings aren't facts.
They matter,
Yes?
but they're not the whole story,
No.
especially when you're tired, hungry, or emotionally sunburnt.
The Aging Heroes Toolkit. It's not just hammocks and high vibes. It's discernment, the art of waiting, the courage to pause, to respond, not react.
So next time your mood starts suggesting plot twists, ask it to take a seat. Give it a coconut water and let your wisdom do the talking.
Your peace is sacred. Your growth doesn't need a crisis, and your ex still doesn't deserve that text.
All right, let's do a segment recap. This is mood does not equal mindset.
Mood-based decisions are usually trash fires in paradise.
If you're triggered, tired, or tangled up in feelings, delay your decision making.
Use the delay and document method.
Let trusted people reality check you.
Practice discernment. Let the weather pass. You don't need to react from the mood. You get to respond from your island wisdom. Coming up next, the sacred art of letting go. We're talking forgiveness, mental decluttering, and why carrying emotional trash makes your soul smell foul.
That's segment 4, heroes. It's juicy, it's healing, and yes, it's slightly weird, just how we like it.
All right, heroes, you've ridden shotgun through a story where chaos ruled the road, murder made a surprise cameo, and your nervous system did more squats than a CrossFit coach in hurricane season.
We've paused, we've reset, and we've avoided texting our ex, cutting our bangs, or booking a one-way ticket to Meltdown Island.
Now comes the final move, the one most people skip. It's not sexy, it's not flashy, it's the hardest and the holiest. It's the release.
We call it Don't Pack the Dead Goat. Because when the day goes sideways and you survive it, the only thing worse than the chaos is hauling it into tomorrow like an emotional carry-on.
You know what we mean. You've had the tough talk, missed the flight, survived the awkward encounter at the grocery store with your former therapist and your current emotional support snack, and yet, at midnight, you're still replaying it, carrying it around like it's an emotional piñata you might eventually crack open for closure.
But here's the deal. The drama's done. The thing happened. You felt it. You handled it. Now it's time to set it down gently and walk the hell away.
Remember that bumpy ride through Tanzania? The one with the unexpected murder anecdote? Yeah, we had a choice. We could freak out, panic, let it cloud the whole trip, view every friendly wave like it came with an asterisk, sleep with one eye open and one sandal off.
Or
Or
we could set it down, label it as unexpected cultural download, and move forward.
we chose the latter. And because we did, we got the full experience.
Yeah.
Beauty, discomfort, humor, healing, not because it was perfect, but because we didn't drag the weirdness behind us like a suitcase with squeaky wheels.
This segment, it's your permission slip to do the same, to not let one moment ruin the rest of your adventure. Tools for letting go.
Tool 1, close the loop. Say to yourself, that happened. It's over. I'm okay. Say it like you're brushing off sand before getting back in the hammock.
Tool 2, realize the release. Write it down, burn it, or crumple it up, and bank shot it into the trash can like an emotional three-pointer at a beach bonfire.
Tool 3, move your body. Dance, swim, walk it off like you're heading to the tiki bar of truth. Your body stores stuff. Let it be part of that letting go.
Tool 4, compassionate truth. Tell yourself, I did the best I could with what I knew at the time, and now I know better. Say it like you're putting a lei around your own neck and handing yourself a fruit smoothie.
And tool 5, sorry, but no souvenirs. If you're retelling the story to punish yourself or someone else, stop. This isn't a tourist shop. No need to take home pain in a snow globe. The point?
The goal isn't denial, it's completion.
Because guess what? Tomorrow deserves the best of you, not the version still dragging yesterday's mess through airport security.
Letting go doesn't mean forgetting. It means honoring what happened and honoring what's next.
I think that's why we love sailing. You can't carry the last wave with you. You ride it. You release it. You scan the horizon for what's next.
Yeah.
It's all about that.
So today, aging heroes, we invite you to lighten your emotional luggage.
Don't pack the dead goat. Leave it in Tanzania or in that awkward Zoom call or in last Tuesday's meltdown that no longer needs to board your soul's next flight.
So let's recap this episode, Manage Bad Days.
Let's do it. We dropped into Tanzania, where chaos ruled the road and unexpected truths asked us to check our mindset mid-marathon.
Segment 2 gave us the reset ritual, a 4-step practice to recenter when your day starts doing cartwheels.
In segment 3, we taught you not to make life-altering decisions from inside a mood monsoon because no one needs an impulse tattoo or an X-Tech spiral.
And here in segment 4, we handed you the sacred scroll of letting go, because managing bad days isn't about perfect responses. It's about choosing presence over panic, humor over heaviness, and grace over the urge to carry crap into tomorrow.
If this episode hit your heart, if it spoke to you, share it. Text a friend, tag us, and go follow us on Instagram and Facebook at Aging Heroes. You can also find our full tribe at www.agingheroes.com.
Coming up next week, episode 10, Convert Your Stress.
Because not all stress is bad. Some of it's fuel, some of it's feedback, and some of it's just your inner critic screaming for a better job description.
We're going to show you how to turn tension into traction,
I like that.
how to get unstuck without unraveling.
Until then, take care of that brave, slightly sunburned, wildly worthy heart of yours.
And whatever you do,
Don't pack the dead goat. We'll see you next time.